I'm back. It's time to do a little bit of work on the Cherokee Grand. Had it for about 3 months now, and we've managed to get it all mechanically sound pretty much. There's one or two little niggles, but nothing too bad. So I decided that we're going to have some fun with it today, largely due to a mate of mine called Ash, who should know better, who's kind of got me interested in this. I'm going to fit an exhaust cutout. It's a V8. It doesn't sound like a V8. I want it to sound like a V8. So I've bought all the stuff to fit exhaust cutouts. Because I can't weld, I'm going to do it all in clamp-on parts, because trust me, that will look far neater with me doing it. I can weld, I just can't weld neatly. It's worth pointing out that I'm going to be removing the catalytic converter to fit the cutouts. Catalytic converter in this particular vehicle, because it's a LPG converted one, it's pretty much just steam that comes out of the exhaust. So it doesn't need the catalytic converter to clean the exhaust gases in the same way as it would do if it was running largely on petrol. So before everybody shouts at me, oh, you shouldn't be taking the cat off, I'm going to take it off. So while I'm down there, I'm going to fit a new downstream lambda sensor, because the check engine light's on the dashboard, which is probably down to it being on LPG. But when I scan it, it comes back as a lambda sensor fault. So I'm going to fit a new lambda sensor while I'm in there. So let's get it done. There are two types of exhaust cutout valve that you can get. This particular one that I'm fitting now seems to have only been around for the last few months. Usually they're a Y pipe with the butterfly valve on the end of the Y pipe. This particular design has got two butterfly valves, so when the dump valve is closed, the exhaust flows freely through there, but when you open the bypass valve for the noises, the main exhaust valve shuts, so everything goes down through the bypass valve. Also, the motor is mounted a little bit further away from the hot exhaust, so fingers crossed this motor will last longer than most. Let's get it hooked up to a battery and I'll show you how it works. Here we've got it set up so that I can show you how it works. We've got the motor wires ready to connect to a battery. If we connect them one way round, it'll open. If we connect them the other way round, it will close. This is the side with the cutout valve on it, and that's the straight through side. So at the moment it's set so that the exhaust will come in through here along this tube and out through the muffler and the tailpipe. But if we connect these this way around, nothing will happen. So we'll go the correct way around, and there you go. Within a couple of seconds, open the exhaust port. Just do it the other way, just to show you how it works. And when it's installed in the vehicle, that will be operated by a remote control. This is the section of exhaust made up that I need to be able to fit in under the truck. So we're going to measure it now and see how much, see if we can actually physically fit it. So get the tape in. So overall 22 and 3/4 inches. So let's say 23. I need 23 inches from where the exhaust sits in the back of that flange there to the front where we're going to make the connection into the downpipe. So let's have a look. Oh, that's only perfect. Right, I've got the silencer supported there. I've taken the exhaust clamp off there and sprayed some PB in it. Hopefully that'll come out nice and easily. So we just need to nip through that pipe there. I've cut the cable to the downstream lambda sensor because the new lambda sensor comes with attachments to patch into, it's a universal one, so it'll patch into the original plug. Let's get cutting. That's the cutout, giving us a nice straight place to fit the bypass valve. There's the cat and the sawzall. Many a criminal is used to that view. And just to give you some sort of idea of the, you can't really see, but the restriction the catalytic converter gives in an exhaust has got to be 50%. That's like a solid mesh, you can't see through that at all. You probably could if I held it up to the light. Let's have a look. That's not a great deal. Anyway, plenty of room to work with now, so we can start mocking up. And here it is, roughed in. I'm supporting the back box on my little metal stand and a bit of wood and a screwdriver to get it up as high and as level as possible, because it's only been supported by the rubber mount at the back. Once we've got all the U-clamps on the exhaust now, it should hold it all nice and steady. So we get those on. Tighten that back bit up. Let's make sure that we've got enough room for this lambda sensor before we put it on, eh? And the answer to that is yes, just. Should self-support now, and it does. Nice and solid. That's all in, all tightened up. Exhaust is self-supporting now, and we're just waiting to do the control cable for the cutout. I've wired in the new downstream O2 sensor, and the wiring I'm going to follow for that sensor back along to the front O2 sensor with the control cable for the cutout, and we'll take it up under the hood and mount the control unit there and connect via a fuse to the battery. Now, it would be a bit weird if we didn't try and see what it sounded like now with the exhaust. Oh, okay. So this is without the cat, obviously, and the exhaust gases are going out through the silencer. That sounds a little bit more beefy already. Quite like that. And that's our supply cable there up into the engine bay from the cutout. So we're going to be mounting the control unit, which has got this natty little remote control. There it is. We'll be mounting that there on top of that fuse box. We'll just use some double-sided tape just to hold that down. So we'll get that connected up. This whole thing is controlled by this little remote, which comes without batteries. So, got the batteries from Amazon. The smallest screwdriver that I've got to get into this is part of my natty little socket set. Hopefully this will undo those 3 screws and I'll be able to put the battery in. Okay, that's done. So let's roll underneath and see if we can see it operating. Here we are underneath. Let's give you a good view up the valve. So I should now be able to press the open button on this and it opens. Press the close button and it closes. Excellent. Here's the test. Engine's running. It's ticking over nicely. Just that nice burble. Now we're going to click the open button. Whoa. Yeah. Close it. And the last bit of the job that we need to do is just fit a swept tip onto that cutout valve there, just so that it points downwards and not kind of underneath the car. So I've got one. It's going to need a little bit of modification because we haven't got a great deal of room to clamp it on. I'll go and modify it now. Here's the tip that we're going to be using. As you can see, it's way too long, or the slit is too long. So what we need to do is cut it down so that that slit is just long enough to stop, yeah, that leak there. So we need to take probably about half of its length of the slit off the end, and then we can clamp that on. It clears quite nicely. Yep, okay, we'll cut that down and get it clamped on. Road test time. The exhaust now on normal exhaust. Sounds quite nice, quite beefy and throaty, just like an exhaust with the cat removed. Definitely sounds more like a V8, which is good. So I'm just going to get out from around these houses and up onto a piece of road with some walls each side, which should give us a nice indication of the noise. Okay, here we go. I'm going to open it up. No, I'm not, because there's a person with a dog. Now I've opened it.